you guys sitting behind a desk and hopefully studying a lot. Yeah. We'll see that top half, mid-thoracic, upper thoracic, and then cervical spine bending over quite nicely. The other interesting one here is this stuff here. Yeah. We're probably the opposite way around. I want this to be a little bit more pressure on here, and this hip being across here a little bit more. Okay, because at the moment there's too much pressure on your right foot. I want pressure on your left foot. Yeah. Okay, 2 reasons. The best players in the world, we know that will have roughly about 55% of their pressure in their left foot. That's to grip the ground a lot better, and to make sure that they can actually get them rotating and using the ground a hell of a lot better. Yeah. So then we start to say, okay, well, we've got nowhere to rotate from here. All right, and you're going to start to try and lift the ball in the air. The other part to that equation is then we start talking about the leverage. It's broken down already. So we need pressure across there, handle pointing towards your left groin, which then will, once this comes back over here, that'll be all nice and straight, left arm, you know, through there. Okay, that's our first part of the equation. All right. So for you then to get a leverage that's straight, that means it's going to have to do that through impact. If it doesn't, which then means what? What does that do to the club face then? It makes it point out to the right, right? Yeah. So if you push that handle forward, then the club face will end up pointing that way. So if you get it in the air, it's going hard right, whether you like it or not. Okay. Then you'll start say, no, don't do that anymore, and you'll flip your hands over and you'll try to use your hands too much, and then it'll go hard left. Okay. Now the other part to this equation is you heard 2 sounds there when you hit the ball. You heard the ground first, and reality is we want ball and then ground almost simultaneously, just a little bit afterwards. Okay. So as we start to move, let's have a look at a couple of things. This is where I get to play Mr. Squiggle. You probably don't know who Mr. Squiggle is, do you? That's showing my age, my friend. Okay, so as we start to play this through, pretty good, moves a little bit back and a little bit up. We probably haven't rotated your hips enough so we don't get enough power. Okay, and then we start to get you, because you've probably topped a lot of golf balls, hit them along the ground, right? Yeah. So therefore your head's going, oh no, I've got to keep my head down. Interestingly enough, it's dropped down below where it started. Okay, what happens is because now you can start to see where your hands are, they're already forward of where they started from. Okay, so you can see the lines there, that's where they started from. So in other words, you're almost going to be hitting back up on top of, basically hitting up on the golf ball, so hitting it along the ground, if you don't hit the ground first. Okay, so it's probably not as efficient as what we'd like. And then we see that you haven't quite rotated all the way across. Now that's injury prevention more than anything. You'll start to load up your lower lumbar here, because you've got a rotational force moving around, and the bottom half's not moving at all. Okay, so we'll start to, it's injury prevention more than anything. It doesn't have any effect on the golf ball as such and what it does, but it has a lot of effect on how you can move. Yeah, absolutely. So what are we going to do today, do you think?
Probably like weight transfer. From more.
Even before then, we set up properly. Number 1, get that structure. Okay. Once we set up properly, then we can start to get you to move properly. If it doesn't set up properly, it's going to be interesting. Okay. So let's do that first.